When asked about the most mysterious places on Earth, our minds often wander to the depths of the Amazon rainforest or the legendary Bermuda Triangle. However, a phenomenon that humans still view with sheer terror, a wonder that eluded science for decades, lies hidden in the heart of Yemen in the Middle East. Deep within the desolate desert of the Al-Mara province, amidst an endless expanse of sand, lies a black void, the Well of Barhout. People around the world know it by a more chilling name, the Gateway to Hell. Spanning approximately 30 meters in width, this chasm stands like a deep, dark well carved into the earth. Looking from the top, its bottom is lost in a shroud of mystery. Within is a blackness so thick it seems to swallow light itself. For decades, locals were terrified to even approach its edge. The stories circulating about this well are so horrifying that even the most daring explorers often turned back in defeat before uncovering what truly lay at its base. For centuries, the strange odors emanating from this pit, the eerie sounds echoing from within, and the way even birds seem to recoil from flying over it have labeled this place as cursed. It was widely believed that the air inside was devoid of oxygen and filled with toxic gases. Village elders still tell tales of those who ventured in long ago, only to feel the grip of suffocation, disappearing forever into the depths, never to be seen again. Even the Yemeni government remained in the dark about its exact depth until 2021. Even drone cameras would lose their way in its absolute darkness. What lies within? Is it a natural phenomenon, or are there secrets beyond human imagination? Today, we descend into the inner chambers of this hell well. There is no doubt that this journey of unveiling mysteries one by one will leave you astonished. The reason this well has remained a nightmare in the Yemeni desert for centuries isn't just its terrifying appearance, it's the unbelievable legends passed down through generations. According to local belief, this is the most cursed place on Earth. It is known as a prison built by God to incarcerate evil spirits and jinns from hell. Even during the day, locals fear approaching the well. They believe standing on the edge is dangerous, that invisible hands might reach out and pull you into the abyss. References to this well can be found even in ancient Arabic texts. Some believe it contains the worst water on earth and serves as a gathering place for the souls of the deceased. Those living near the well claim to hear strange voices at night and see shadows moving in the dark. Stories persist of travelers lost in sandstorms who fell into this pit and were never found again. Did they perish, or do they still live in those depths, or did the jinns claim them? This fear is why for decades even explorers hesitated to come near this well. When hearing about the Well of Barhout, there was one major factor that pushed back both explorers and scientists alike: the unknown odors rising from within. Those standing at the edge often experienced an unbearable stench. It was described as the smell of something rotting, or perhaps toxic gases rising from the bowels of the earth. This is how the well earned the nickname, the Breath of Hell. Numerous stories surround this scent. Locals believed that spirits were bound here, and their lamentations combined with this odor made the chasm truly terrifying. It is said that some who tried to descend lost consciousness halfway down and retreated unable to breathe. Early scientific speculation suggested the air was saturated with lethal gases like sulfur dioxide or methane. Many would throw stones from the edge, but the sound of the stone hitting the bottom was often never heard. Such was the mysterious depth. Even drones used in early experiments were said to malfunction due to these gases. As news spread that birds would faint while flying over the crater, it was declared a death zone. Furthermore, residents claimed to hear strange whistling sounds at night. Is it the natural sound of wind passing through this narrow chasm, or the sounds of creatures lurking in the deep? These questions remained unanswered until a team of humans, aided by modern technology, stepped forward to face this hell of toxic gases. The truths they discovered would shock the entire world. To end the mystery of the Well of Barhout once and for all, a group of adventurers stepped forward, leaving behind the curses and legends. In 2021, the Oman Cave Exploration Team began the historic mission that the whole world was waiting for. As they arrived in the Yemeni desert with the power of modern technology, everyone had only one question: would they return? This mission was anything but easy. Descending into a 112-meter, or approximately 367-foot abyss was a gamble with life itself. While many had tried to send drones before, they usually failed due to low light and strong winds, but the Omani team refused to back down. They were equipped with advanced safety systems, high-definition cameras, and oxygen cylinders. Since the fear of toxic gases persisted, every step was taken with extreme caution. Members of the exploration team began to slowly descend into the darkness, suspended by ropes. From the top, they looked like tiny specks that eventually disappeared from view. With every foot they descended, the light dimmed and the temperature shifted. They stepped into a world never before seen by human eyes. Strange odors rising from the rock formations tried to deter them, but when they finally landed at the bottom of the well, the sights they saw corrected every legend the world had ever believed. When the Omani team stepped into that 112-meter deep darkness, the world stood still. Everyone expected the sights at the bottom of Hell's Gate to be horrifying. However, the visuals that emerged were not only surprising to the team, but to the entire world. Beyond the darkness and fear, a miraculous world lay hidden. The explorers first encountered crystal-clear springs trickling from the rocks. Unlike the scorching heat of the desert above, they were greeted with cool air and fresh water. Over centuries, in those depths untouched by man, nature had built its own ecosystem. The sight of water cascading down the walls of the well like beautiful waterfalls was breathtaking. But the greatest wonder was yet to come. They were stunned by cave pearls scattered on the floor. These lime-green glowing pearls, formed over thousands of years by dripping water into calcium carbonate layers, gave the dark world a heavenly aura. No one had dreamed that the Well of Barhout, which looked like a black hole from above, hid such magnificent sights. Moreover, they found life in the depths. Instead of jinns, they found numerous snakes, frogs, and beetles. The snakes they encountered were harmless to humans, having adapted to live in that specific environment. This place, once called the Gate of Hell, was actually a museum of nature. There were no rotting corpses or evil forces. Instead, it was a green oasis preserved by nature in the depths of the earth. They also found the truth behind the breath of hell. It was simply the natural odor of bird carcasses and waste accumulated over centuries. As they captured these awe-inspiring moments on camera, the veil over a great mystery was finally lifted. The world was stunned by the footage released by the Omani team. What was thought to be a place of terror was proven to be a natural wonder. But how can the questions that followed be explained scientifically? Why did this gate of hell cause so much fear for centuries? In reality, the Well of Barhout is merely a geological sinkhole. It is a phenomenon where limestone dissolves in water over thousands of years, forming large underground chambers until the roof eventually collapses, creating massive pits. Where did the toxic gases go? In truth, the suffocation experienced by those who tried to descend in the past was due to lack of oxygen. In such a deep and narrow chasm, poor air circulation makes breathing difficult. This was misunderstood by people as the work of jinns.
Similarly, the snakes found there were those that preferred the cold and moisture of the underground. They survived by eating birds and other small creatures that fell in. The truth behind the stench now is clear. It was the result of bacterial action on bird and bat remains. When the modern team arrived, the air was clean, purified by the underground water sources. Science provided a clear answer to every mystery, yet it is fascinating how such a myth persisted in human imagination. The Well of Barhout, the abyss that was the synonym of fear for centuries, has finally revealed its secrets. It was human imagination and fear that turned a natural wonder into the gate of hell. The Oman Exploration Team's daring step wasn't just a journey to the bottom of a well. It was a journey from the darkness of superstition to the light of truth.